In the summer of 2018, a rancher named David outside of Tucson, Arizona, cut a 4-inch PVC pipe in half lengthwise with a battery-powered circular saw. He mounted the two halves along the edge of his shed roof. He connected them to a single downspout aimed at a used IBC tote he bought secondhand for $20. When the monsoon arrived 3 weeks later, he collected 720 gallons of water from 1 inch of rain. His water bill that month dropped by $63. He spent $2 on the pipe. This is the story of the oldest water technology in human history, and the 170-year-old legal doctrine designed to make sure you never used it. You are watching a channel that follows the water where the current wants to take it. Go back 6,000 years. Not a desert campfire story. Hard archaeology. By 4000 BC, permanent villages in the Levant region of Southwest Asia were already cutting waterproof lime plaster cisterns directly into the floors of their homes, not carved from natural rock. Engineered, poured, sealed. Every house in those early settlements had its own personal underground water tank fed from the roof above. 6,000 years before the word infrastructure existed, farmers in what is now Israel, Syria, and Lebanon were harvesting every drop of rain that landed on their buildings and storing it underground. The stone walls above those cisterns were cool to the touch, even in summer. The water inside never went stale. The engineering was local. The water was free. But those villages grew into cities, and cities made water political. Therefore, the Romans took the technology and scaled it into an empire. Between 500 BC and 500 AD, Roman engineers built cisterns beneath every major building in every city they occupied. Private homes in Pompeii had rooftop collection channels flowing directly into household storage tanks before the city even had an aqueduct. The aqueduct came later in the 1st century BC. Before that, every Roman household was its own water system. Underground cisterns held between 10,000 and 50,000 gallons each. Community cisterns held 1 million gallons. There is a single cistern beneath Istanbul, built using 7,000 enslaved laborers, so large that it is still used as a tourist attraction. You can sail a boat inside it. It was built to collect rain from the streets above, not transported, not pumped, collected from the sky for free. And in India, every single region developed its own version of the same system. Gujarat had stepwells called Vav, cut 50 feet into the earth to stay cool in 100-degree summers. Rajasthan had tankas, small underground tanks beneath every home in the desert. The Himalayan region had gulls. Bihar had Aharpanye. Meghalaya had bamboo drip irrigation that channeled rain from leaves to root systems without a single metal part. Every one of these systems was local. Everyone required zero ongoing cost after installation. Everyone worked for generations. But then the California gold rush changed not just mining, it changed who owned water itself. In 1849, gold miners in the Sierra Nevada needed enormous volumes of water to process ore. Their claims were miles from any river. Therefore, they invented a legal fiction. First in time, first in right. The first miner to divert water from a stream and put it to profitable use owned the right to that water permanently. Not the land around the water, not the water in the ground. The right to divert it from anywhere to anywhere. For profit. The California legislature codified this doctrine in 1850. The Colorado Constitution adopted it in 1876. Within 20 years, it had spread to 17 western states. The doctrine had a name, prior appropriation, and the logic inside it was devastating. If you collect the rain that falls on your own roof, you are diverting water from its natural path. That path eventually reaches a stream. That stream has a rights holder, therefore you are stealing from them. Therefore, what falls from the sky onto your property is not yours. This is not a metaphor. It is still the written law in Colorado, Utah, and Nevada today. Colorado legally restricts residents to 110 gallons of collected rooftop rainwater. The law traces back directly to 1876, not to science, not to hydrology, to a legal doctrine written to protect gold mining profits in a country that no longer mines gold in those valleys. Therefore, the water utilities moved in behind the law, and what they built is worth naming. The U.S. water sector today consists of approximately 50,000 community drinking water systems. It worked. It was never developed commercially. There was no money in it, not for them. Close your eyes for a second and think about what this felt like to the people who used it. An 1860s farmhouse in rural Indiana, late October. The air smells like cold mud and dried corn. The walls are rough-hewn timber that still seeps sap when the temperature swings. Outside it is 40 degrees. Inside, a small zinc plate and a copper plate are buried 18 inches down in the vegetable bed, wired up through a clay pipe to a small electromagnetic clock on the mantle. No noise, no smoke, no cost. Just the slow, patient electricity of wet earth moving through wire, moving a gear, ticking time. That clock has been running for 3 years. The neighbors think it is magic. It is not magic. It is electrochemistry. And it is available to you right now for $13. Here is what you need to build a functional earth battery array today. I need to be honest with you first. A single-cell earth battery produces between 0.5 and 1.5 volts and a few milliamps. That will not power your refrigerator. It will not run your air conditioner. What it will power are LED garden lights, soil sensors, wireless weather stations, small rechargeable devices through a voltage booster circuit, and emergency radio equipment. A 12-cell array wired in series produces 12 volts and can charge small battery banks. This is a supplemental system, a starting point, not a whole house solution, but it costs $13 and it never needs fuel. Here is the build. You need 8 galvanized nails, tall, which are zinc-coated and cost about $3 for a box of 50 at any hardware store. You need 6 feet of copper wire, which runs about $4 at the same store. You need a multimeter to test output, which you can find for $6 online. Total material cost for your first 4-cell test array is $13. Find a patch of damp ground, preferably shaded and clay-rich, as clay holds moisture and conducts ions better than sandy soil. Drive a galvanized nail 12 inches into the ground. 2 feet away, in the direction of magnetic north, drive a length of copper wire bent into a stake. Connect them above ground with a small section of wire and attach your multimeter. You should see between 0.4 and 1.2 volts per cell. If the reading is low, wet the soil around the electrodes and add a pinch of salt, which increases conductivity by up to 30%. Now chain additional cells in series, nail to copper, copper to nail, moving north along a line. A 12-cell chain spanning roughly 24 feet produces 12 volts of direct current. Connect a small boost converter, available for under $5, and you have enough steady output to trickle charge a 12-volt battery bank. That bank can then run LED lighting, small fans, USB charging hubs, and sensor arrays indefinitely. A man in rural Arkansas named James Whitfield documented his 4-cell earth battery array on a homesteading forum in 2022. He reported 0.8 volts per cell, 3.2 volts total, enough to power a soil moisture sensor and a small wireless transmitter continuously for 8 months without any maintenance. His total materials cost was $11.40. The sensor had previously cost him $12 per month in AA batteries. The global battery market is a $94 billion industry. Zinc alone accounts for billions in disposable battery production annually. You are buying zinc every time you buy a AA battery. The difference is that in the battery, the zinc gets used up and discarded. In the earth battery, the zinc corrodes slowly over months, and when it does, you replace a $4 nail. The copper lasts for years. The soil is already there. You cannot patent what is already everywhere. Therefore, this knowledge was never amplified. It was allowed to fade. Alexander Bain knew. Carl von Steinheil proved it. Derek Lovely at the University of Massachusetts confirmed the biology. And today, right now, with $13 and a shovel, you dug it up. The knowledge always survives. What changes is who holds it. For 140 years, utilities built a $400 billion empire on the assumption that you would never look down, that the answer was not in the ground, that electricity was something that came from them through their wires, on their terms, at their price. Every share of this video is a vote for what Bain knew in 1841. Every person who builds one of these arrays is one less meter running, one less $30 profit margin extracted from a $200 bill. The information is free, the materials are $13, the electricity is yours. Next time on this channel, the forgotten ventilation technique that kept miners alive for 500 years underground, the same principle that could eliminate your home cooling bill, and the reason the HVAC industry has spent 80 years making sure you never connect the dots.